Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Kiara with Home Slice Adulting, and today I'm actually going to bring you guys my very first weight loss video. Now this video is kind of going to be funny, a little bit serious, but it's going to be about the 6 things that I hate about being overweight or just plain fat. So let's get started. Number 1, I do not like what society has to say about fat people. There's this overarching idea and theme that fat people are lazy, that they are unattractive, that they are the way they are because they don't have any self-discipline. And while some of those things are factors in why people are overweight, I mean, for me, I do not like exercising and I'm not very good at eating right, but what I will say is that it's not fair to put that label across the board for all people who are overweight. Some people have health problems. Some people are biologically predispositioned to hold on to fat. Typically, women are more prone to hold on to fat than men. And some people just love the way that they are and have people who love them like that anyway. And I just really don't like that society has that mindset. And to further drive the point home, I read an article in my Women in Gender Studies class that cited a study where people said that they would be more likely to date an amputee or someone who is in a wheelchair as opposed to someone who is overweight. And while amputees and people who are wheelchair bound definitely need love, it just goes to show that people who are overweight are seen as pariahs in this society, and I really think it needs to stop. Overweight people are people first. So yeah, I really severely dislike that. Number 2, I'm always conscious about how much space that I take up. I mean, everywhere you go, they have spaces that are meant for people who are normal size. You think about airplanes, the seats. We've all heard of people who are overweight having to purchase more than one seat in order to be able to ride on a plane, and plane tickets are expensive, so that's horrible. And the bathrooms in airplanes are very small. If you think about the way desks are set up in lecture halls, some of those are so tiny, and I hate having to sit in the center of those aisles when people are already on the ends, because when I cross in front of the people who are already seated, my butt is in their face and then my boobs are grazing the heads of the people who are in the row in front of me, and I really hate it. I hate it so much. Those areas are so small. And one of the more embarrassing things that's ever happened to me for being overweight was last year for my 25th birthday. My boyfriend took me to Six Flags, and he and I were kicked off of an amusement park ride because the lap bar would not secure. And I mean, the staff was nice about it, but it was one of the most embarrassing things that I've ever had to deal with, because not only did all the employees and the people on the ride see it, but the dozens of people who were waiting in the line saw it. And the ride didn't start as quickly as it would have started because they tried multiple times to get the lap band to secure. So it was just very embarrassing for me, and I hated that feeling. And I really hate having to be conscious of how much space that I'm taking up. And when I'm trying to squeeze between people, I have to say excuse me and be overly nice about it because I'm such a large woman. So that's very annoying to me. And that's something that I don't think that people who are smaller really have to think about. But number 3, your body does very weird things when you gain weight or when you're overweight. Things like when your thighs rub together. Now, back in the day, I had a job where I had to walk to work because I did not have a car, and I was a waitress, so I was walking all day. So because my thighs rubbed together, there's friction, between your thighs, and it created holes in my pants. And I'm gonna show you guys those pants. So as you can see, they're just like a plain black jean. You guys can see that? Yeah. And they look normal, right? Until you look here where the thigh is supposed to be, and there's a huge hole. Like my whole arm goes through it. That's how big the holes are. There's 2 of them. see, there's two of the holes. This is the seat of the pants, and these are where the thighs go. And so my thighs were rubbing together, creating friction, which kind of burned holes into these jeans. And it got to the point where I had to wear pants underneath these pants in order to stop my skin from showing from the holes being there. And if things didn't go right, I would chafe, and I would chafe so bad to where like I didn't want to bathe after I got home because the water burned in those chafing areas. And yeah, I really hated it. So chafing is another thing about your thighs rubbing together. It is the absolute worst. And so yeah. And another thing is that it's a struggle to tie my shoes. That's only been happening lately, but it's like, you know, that's, you know, a little bit of a struggle because bending over my, you know, stomach kind of hurts a little bit. So yeah, that sucks. And then there's the thing with the jiggly arms, and like my arm has started to form this like weird indentation, and there's like whenever you clap it jiggles, and that sucks. You sweat in weird places, like the rolls in between your fat and the back of your knees. It's very odd. And I can't wear heels. One, because I can't stand to be on my feet that long in heels with carrying all this weight around. And also the heels of my shoes sink into the ground like golf tees. And it's like, that sucks. I can't do that. It's the worst. So that's it for number 3. Number 4. It's not healthy. Now this is probably the biggest reason that I want to lose weight, because I do want to lead a healthy lifestyle. And when we get ready to have children, or my boyfriend and I get married and get ready to have children, I don't want to pass down any unhealthy habits to them. So I mean, there's things like lack of physical ability. I'm not able to run for very long periods of time without getting winded. I'm very lethargic. All I want to do is sleep. I don't have the energy, or I don't eat energy-rich foods that would facilitate me having enough energy to do a lot of things throughout the day, or not want to feel lethargic. And then there's hormonal changes. I don't know if a lot of women have experienced this, but putting on a lot of weight in like a short period of time can affect your menstrual cycle. And from what I understand, and I am not a doctor, is that fat holds estrogen, and when the fat is holding the estrogen is not going to the right places to regulate your menstrual cycle, so it can become irregular. So yeah, it's really not healthy to be overweight, because obesity related illnesses really do take the lives of a lot of people, and it can be, you know, 100% preventable. So it's something that I'm doing my best to take seriously, so that I can, you know, really turn my life around and live a healthier lifestyle. And so number 5 is a lack of clothing options. Also, I refuse to buy new clothes, and also I hate outgrowing my clothes. So this, you know, number 5 is all about clothing. For whatever reason, I have never liked shopping for clothes, and I think a big part of that is because I never really liked the options that they had for women of bigger sizes, and that even if something I liked came in my size, I didn't like the way it looked on me. So even to this day, I really don't shop for clothes. And I have a lot of clothes that I've outgrown in my closet, and they just sit there, and I'm like, you know, I'm keeping these because I'm gonna lose weight, and then it never happens, and it's the worst. So I hate that. That is very annoying. It sucks. And so finally, the 6th thing that I hate about being overweight is that everyone is a dietitian / fitness trainer. Whenever you tell someone that you're trying to turn your life around, exercise-wise or diet-wise, they all become, you know, physicians. They all become Jillian Michaels. You know, they all have tips and tricks, and more often than not, these are people who have never been overweight a day in their lives. Or if they've lost weight, they've lost something like 20 pounds maybe. Now, someone like me probably needs to lose about 120 to 130 pounds to be in the normal range. And it's like, if you have never been through that, which a lot of people that I know have not, then I kind of don't need your advice right now. You're not a dietitian, so I don't need your advice on what to eat. And you're not a fitness trainer, so I don't need your advice on how to exercise. I mean, if it's someone who has been through the same struggle, who's lost a large amount of weight, then definitely I'll talk to you because you've been through it before and you can help me in a way that someone who hasn't been through it really can't. So that's another thing that I really don't like. But overall, I think I'm really ready to focus on becoming a healthier person. My birthday is in 3 days, October 21st, Libra. And I'm just really over being overweight. So it really is time for me to get my life together. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Find me on Twitter and Instagram. And thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great day.